happened that Aset, the first daughter of Gad and Nut, had been giving extra blessings of love and wisdom. With these, she was able to know had no that Ra had no intention of giving up his throne, because he was afraid that no one could as carefully and as wisely as he. Aset thought and thought about how she could prove to Ra that she was as wise as he was, so that she and her husband Asar could rule in his place and let him rest. She thought about what her most wonderful qualities might be, for if she was to show Ra her wisdom, it made sense to choose the thing she was very best at. Aset was known throughout the land among all the gods as a great healer and priestess. No one knew all the Haku, the words of power that Aset knew, except for Ra, only because it was he who had created the universe. She could also cure anyone of almost any illness. No matter how serious Aset decided that the only way she could convince Ra was to either show him that she knew the most powerful Haku in the universe, or she could heal the worst sickness in the whole world. But how? All the words of the powers that she knew, Ra knew too. Suddenly, Aset had an idea. She knew Haku in the word except for Ra's secret name, the one had been born with. If she could find out, she would be able to use it to make Ra stop crossing the sky every day and go and rest. Aset sat outside for the whole day, watching Ra rise and push the sun across the sky. He was so old now that he often drooled. Each time he drooled, the place where he spittled would come to life, almost the same way his children had been born, faraway waters of Nu. When Aset went home in that night, she had a clever plan in her mind. The next day she went to back of the same place and hid herself from Ra's view. As she passed, a bit of drool dripped from his mouth. Aset grabbed a bite of the ground where she had landed and shake it into the form of the snake. She quickly whispered Haku over it, then put the snake down. It raced off toward where Ra was toiling across the horizon. When it reached him, it bit deep ankle, filling his venom. Ra cried, terrible pain, dropped his cries were that all were so loud that all the gods came running to see what had happened. Oh, my children, something terrible has happened. Something painful has stabbed me, and I don't know what it is. Although Ra was able to know everything in his creation, he had not created the snake, so he could not see it. He begged the gods to help the pain and cure him. So, for he could feel his life slipping away in between his cries of agony. Ra began to call out his name, for he knew that was the only way any words of power could talk. All the Neteru and the children of Neteru came to see him. Some of them were mourning him already, for they were sure no one could save him. Once by one they filed past his bed feeling helpless because they did not know what to do. There was nothing air or moisturize could do for such a one, and neither the earth nor sky. Wisdom could not heal him, since he did not know what natural of the injury, nor could order. Even the Nortrot of love could bring him respite from the terrible pain he felt. Just then he was about to give up hope. Aset came rushing to his side. "What is it, my father?" she asked him. "A snake stabbed you. Has a snake stabbed you? Has one of your creatures filled up its head against you? Don't worry, I'll cure you." And she immediately began to speak the haku that would release the pain. Ra breathed a sigh of relief as his foot stopped aching so much. He began to explain to Aset what happened. "I was rolling the sun across the sky immediately all the creation when suddenly I was bitten by a snake. My body is hot and cold at the same time. I think I might die. Tell me your name, my divine father." A person can only receive the words of power if he tells his true name. As Oseth began to work her magic, Ra received his many names, but still the magic did not work. "My father," she cried, worried that her plan would fail and Ra would truly die. "You must tell me your real name. If you want to survive, I can't do the magic without it." Ra was too weak and frightened to delay any longer, so he asked Aset to lean close to him. "And you must promise me that you will never tell anyone, except the son, that you are going to have someday." Aset quickly promised, and Ra whispered into her ear. Immediately the words of power spoke drew out of poison, and Ra was healed. He was so revealed and happy that he jumped up and from bed and hugged and kissed his great-granddaughter. "Oh, thank you, he cried. "Aset, you are truly the greatest of healers. Thank you, my divine father," she said modestly. "I am glad you are well again." Ra was so happy to be healed that for a moment he had forgotten about the great power which Aset now had over him, since he knew his secret name. He took her two hands in his old but powerful ones. "Aset," he said gravely, "you must promise me you will never use my name to have power over me." Aset shook her head sadly. "I'm afraid I can't promise that, my great father." "That is just what indeed to do. and she told him about the Neteru, always spoken about advancing years, and how they all thought that he should have a long rest. At first, Ross seemed angry. The fire of the sun blazed in his eyes. But then, when he looked at his wise great-granddaughter, he knew that she was right. And if Osset was powerful enough to have a secret name and wise enough to cure something that no one else had been able to do, then it was only fitting that she would rule the earth, and through her husband Asar. They left Ra's room and went to the special place of Neteru to make the announcement to everyone that he was alive and well. Everyone rejected at Ra's returned health and heaping praise upon Aset for her great skills as healer. When everyone had quieted down, he sat them down for a solemn talk, without telling about what happened between Aset and himself. Ra explained that he decided he was too old to continue ruling over the world. He told everyone that he was going to retire to the sky, where he would continue to make the sun its daily journey, and that he had chosen Aset and her husband Asar to rule the earth in his place, as they had been blessed both with loving hearts and sound judgment. Everyone cheered for Asar and Aset, for they all agreed that indeed they were the perfect choice to set Ra on the throne, all except for one of them. Aset, the first daughter of Ged and Nut, became first queen of Kemet, and though her husband Asar became king. They were good and kind. They always tried to keep the earth the
Okay, that's the end. Thank you. Thank you so much for reading. And thank you, dog, for listening.